Mega Man Issue 27 Worlds Collide. As I expected, Dr. Light surviving isn't realistic at all, as Shadow teleports him into his arms with Chaos Control while he's falling. At the speed he's falling, where he's probably reached terminal velocity, falling into even Shadow's arm should have been like hitting concrete. This is completely ridiculous. Whatever. Shadow tells him that they'll provide him cover, and Omega says amusingly, "I will protect the flabby hairy man." Dr. Light puts on Proto Man's helmet to call Mega Man because it's a cell phone, apparently. I'd expect, like, phone calling abilities to be, like, hardwired into Mega Man and Proto Man's brains, but that's a nitpick. And he tells him that he's needed on the Wily Egg. Tails hacks the teleporter pad and successfully warps himself, Sonic, and Mega Man to Wily, while leaving all the other heroes to their pointless fight with Robot Masters that can just be infinitely respawned, because if they left the battlefield, the Robot Masters would go into the Wily Egg instead of being kept distracted. With Dr. Light still wearing Proto Man's helmet because safety reasons, Rouge complains about how even one Robot Master is a serious challenge, and Roll says that she needs a second to stabilize the portal. And Wily grabs Eggman by the collar and shouts at him for trying to kill Dr. Light. He's a pure evil one-dimensional cardboard cartoon villain, and this is so forced. Considering that it looked like Eggman and Wily had intentionally tried to kill him with their weakest badniks earlier, this doesn't come through all that naturally. If they were just trying to see which of their robots would win in a fight with each other, then why the hell did they put those robots so close to Dr. Light and risk him getting killed? Why were they both going straight up to Dr. Light in the first place? Sure, Wily looked melancholic at how Tailsman didn't have a personality, but that was the only hint to him being the less evil villain of the two, and he didn't outright insist on them having personalities. We just saw Wily try to kill Dr. Light with a robot, and now we just saw Eggman try to do something that he should be grateful to him for, but somehow that's enough to completely end their friendship. Until the next crossover anyways. I mean, they seem to be like exactly like each other before this point, so this feels contrived. It's not like he hit Wily or like insulted his mother or something. After we see Wily and Eggman's decapitated heads arguing together in a blue void, which is a weird art style choice that reminds me of the time that the Zorda shot a beam and everyone's heads were shown. Then Wily calls Eggman an idiot and says, "I want him embarrassed, humbled, and defeated, not dead." Wouldn't defeated mean dead to a villain? We see Roll create a warp ring for Duo to go into. Base, calling his bosses old guys, tells them that the main heroes are on board and asks if they're too busy slap fighting to care. I love the way this guy talks. He's like an elementary school bully with an inferiority-superiority complex to Mega Man. And I love him saying slap fighting. It's like, this is how I picture two wimpy scientists with no muscles to fight each other. Wily says to send the Mega Man killers to slow them down long enough for them to get their final weapon online. Eggman tells Metal Sonic to take base and guard a checkpoint X because if they get that far, it'll be up to them to finish them. Wily thinks that the Egg Wily Machine X will finish Eggman, and Eggman thinks that Wily has shown his weakness, the two plotting against each other again. Sonic and Mega Man argue about whether Eggman or Wily's influence is the most obvious in the Wily Egg, which is them just wasting time with pointlessness. Like, why? I guess that's the only way that they could think of them having something to talk about, but why would they care? And they go to fight the Mega Man killers. Duo says that Skull Egg Zone by its very nature is evil, poisoning the two worlds with, I guess, evil energy. Wait, poison? Where'd that come from? Seriously, if it's poisoning the two worlds, then why don't we see civilians in the two worlds turning evil with evil energy? Well, that was weird. Anyways, he somehow detects dozens of advanced robots and life forms, because advanced AI is an abstract concept that you can detect now, and he senses incredible energy. After Mega Man tries to remind one of the robots that he actually self-destructed to save him, you'd think Wily would have programmed him not to be able to come to that decision. He has no idea what he's talking about, implying that Wily must have cloned him from before they last fought. After Sonic spin dashes around, surprisingly Tails gets hit by some fire or something and falls to the ground looking tired. You know, when Antron was blown up, he was put in a coma, but when Tails gets blown up, he's still able to talk, and he's just dazed and burned a little. I have a question. Why wasn't he running around with his spinning Tails super speed helping out? Maybe he could have avoided this. I'm impressed that they bothered to have Tails injured though, instead of dismissing it as too dark and edgy. They wonder who could give the fox who doesn't show any visible injuries at all some first aid. And Duo was told to go to the Wily Egg by Dr. Light. Mega Man and Sonic run ahead saying that Tails will be fine, ditching him apparently, and they go face up against the Chaos Devil, which has always had a different design from any of the Chaos forms, sort of filling the void from us never getting to see Chaos 5 and so on. Mega Man says that it's a Devil-class robot, and the eye is the command module, whatever that is. Brain, I guess. Why doesn't he just say that? He says that they need to expose the eye, and while Mega Man fires a shot, Sonic spin dashes at the same time, which gets him trapped in the watery Chaos Devil. We see Mega Man's charge shot crashing through several walls, making Orbot panic, and for some reason Sonic gets freed. So, is it a very small, round dimension, the Skull Egg Zone, and so it went around the entire world? Duo shows up, and we see Sonic and Mega Man seem to get surrounded by blue water while Sonic can still talk, like it's Sonic miniseries all over again. So, Duo says that this dimension is a parasite that's somehow killing both their worlds. So they have to restore them and balance them or there will be dire consequences. This plot point seems very unnecessary. And forced. Duo attacks Chaos Devil for them and says that somehow he can magically sense that this is a conflicted creature that can get the evil purged from him by beating him up. Yeah, because beating people up makes them better people. He's got to be a magic robot, because how psychic is he to know all this stuff? We see them fighting their way through the Wily Egg, making past references, while the other heroes fight, and we see Tails being worried about by Amy, while we're not told exactly what his injuries are, which is the first thing that I would write when I'm writing about a character being injured. They go into a door, and the story ends with them getting attacked by Base Metal Sonic. This issue is by Ian Flynn. In this story, Sonic and Mega Man get into the Wily Egg, briefly fight some Robot Masters, and Tails gets injured after not doing much to help them for some reason, when he should have been able to just fly over everything. They fight the Chaos Devil until Duo takes over for them, and out of complete nowhere, Wily turns on Eggman for trying to kill Dr. Light, when 1, he could have got him killed with the Metool, and 2, he's a bad guy. He has no soul, he has no heart, he's evil. Why? He wants to take over the world. They still seem to stay together, but they don't like each other anymore, which is really weird. There wasn't much of a hint that Wily wasn't that evil. Also, how did Wily know that Eggman did that in the first place? He wasn't there, and neither was Base. We didn't see Base follow him. I doubt he'd be loyal enough to tell him if he doesn't have to. And we didn't see Eggman tell him what he did. He just immediately told him off. Why didn't Eggman just roboticize Dr. Light instead? And it ends with Metal Sonic and Base going to fight Sonic and Mega Man. I guess the Wily and Tails moments were refreshing stand-out moments, but otherwise just one paragraph of a summary. Next up in the crossover is Sonic Universe issue 54. And next up right away is Other M.